What if I told you that she thinks about you more than you realize? Yet she won't take that first step. You see, attraction is not just about feelings, but psychology, fears and hidden expectations. The silence that frustrates you might be the key to unlocking her true intentions. The truth is, what seems like hesitation is often a test that many men fail because they misread the signs. But if you understand what's really happening beneath the surface, you don't just wait around, hoping you'll position yourself as the man she can't ignore. Right now, you have two choices. You can keep overanalyzing and get stuck in uncertainty, or you can take control, shift the dynamic, and make her come to you. Number 1. The silence strategy. Why? No one. The silence strategy. Why? Her silence speaks volumes. Her silence speaks volumes. Silence is not absence. It is not indifference. It is not forgetting. Her silence is a strategy, a carefully measured response designed to shift the balance of power in an emotional battlefield where uncertainty rules. You think she has moved on and no longer cares. But in reality, she still watches. She scrolls through your old messages, lingers on your social media, and wonders if you will reach out first. But she will not break the silence, because the moment you do, she wins. This is the game of control, and it is a game you have likely been losing. The moment you reach out, she sees the proof that you are still affected, that you are still emotionally tied to her, and that knowledge gives her the upper hand. Your desperation becomes her validation. Your attempt to explain, to fix things, or to get closure only pushes her further away, making you look weaker. In her eyes, the harder you chase, the faster she runs. But what happens when you stop chasing? When your absence becomes a void she cannot ignore? That is when the roles begin to shift. The very thing she counted on, your predictable pursuit, vanishes. Instead of feeling validated, she starts to feel uncertain. Instead of feeling powerful, she begins to feel the weight of regret. Your silence creates a new reality, one where she is forced to ask herself a dangerous question: did I make a mistake? This is not about playing childish games. It is about emotional discipline, about mastering your own mind and using to be controlled by the whims of someone else's validation. A man who cannot control his emotions is easily manipulated. If you react impulsively, she knows she still holds power over you. But if you hold firm, refuse to break, and channel your energy into your growth rather than your longing, she will begin to feel the shift. The mystery is magnetic. Predictability is repelling a man who is too easy to read, too quick to respond, too available. He loses his edge. But when a man becomes an enigma, his silence speaks louder than words, and his actions show he is moving forward without hesitation. He becomes irresistible. She will wonder what changed. She will wonder why she no longer has the effect she once did. And that curiosity, that uncertainty, is what reawakens attraction. But here is the catch. This only works if it is real. If you are still waiting in for her, deep down, craving her attention, and hoping she regrets leaving, then she will sense it. Women have an instinct for emotional weakness. The final test is not whether she comes back, but whether you even care if she does. Because the truth is, by the time she realizes what she has lost, you will have already moved on. Comment below. I control my emotions, not her. Number 2. The chase. Paradox. Why? No. 2. The chase. Paradox. Why? Running after her only pushes her away. Running after her only pushes her away. The harder you chase, the further she runs. It is a paradox most men never understand until it is too late. You think that you will somehow change her mind by showing how much you care. proving your love, making grand gestures, or sending long messages explaining your feelings. But the reality is this: every time you chase, you confirm she is in control, and nothing kills attraction faster than a man who willingly surrenders his power. Women do not regret leaving a man who begs. They do not look back at the one who crumbled. They regret losing the man who was strong enough to walk away, the one who valued himself enough to say, "If you do not see my worth, that is your loss." Desperation is repelling, strength is magnetic, and strength is not about pretending you do not care. It is about truly being at peace with the outcome. No matter what. Think about this when you chase something. What does that imply? That it is running away from you? And if it is running away, what does that mean? That it does not want to be caught when you start running after her? She instinctively knows she has won. She knows you are still emotionally invested, and the more invested you are, the less valuable you seem. But what happens when you stop? When do you refuse to play the game? When you stop texting, stop checking, stop reacting, suddenly she no longer has the certainty she once did. Instead of feeling chased, presence creates discomfort, and discomfort leads to curiosity. She starts to wonder, why is he not chasing? Has he moved on? Is he seeing someone else? These thoughts create doubt, and doubt creates regret. This is why silence is powerful. It forces her to experience your absence in a way that words never could. But here is the key. You must truly embrace this mindset. This is not about pretending to move on. It is about actually moving on. It is about reclaiming your power, rediscovering your purpose, and realizing that your value does not depend on whether or not she returns. When you finally reach the point where you no longer need her to regret losing you, that is when she will. Because the truth is, attraction is not about convincing someone to want you. It is about being the kind of man they cannot ignore, and that kind of man does not chase. He walks away confidently, knowing his worth. Comment below, "I refuse to chase. I refuse to beg. I walk away with strength." Number 3, the power of no. 3, the power of emotional mastery. Why control equals attraction. Emotional mastery. Why control equals attraction. Women are instinctively drawn to strength, not just physical strength, but emotional stability, mental resilience, and unwavering confidence. A man who cannot control his emotions is a man who can be manipulated, and nothing repels a woman faster than emotional weakness. If you crumble under the weight of rejection, react impulsively to her silence, and seek constant reassurance, you become predictable, needy, and ultimately forgettable. But when you master your emotions, everything changes suddenly. You are not reacting. You are deciding. You are no longer at the mercy of your feelings or her actions. You do not let the silence unnerve you. You do not let the uncertainty shake your foundation. And that kind of composure is rare, powerful, and undeniably attractive. Think about the men women admire, the ones they secretly long for, even years after they are gone. Are these men the ones who broke down, begged or sought closure? No, they are the ones who walked away with quiet confidence, who seemed unshaken, and who did not need validation to know their worth. They left an imprint, not because they pleaded for attention, but because they carried themselves like men who had options, who had a purpose, who had something greater than just a fleeting relationship. Your ability to control your emotions dictates your ability to control the outcome. If you react every time she pulls away, you give her power. If you let her silence break you, you prove she still controls you. But if you remain calm and continue living as if her absence is irrelevant, she will feel the shift, and that shift creates doubt. She starts to wonder, why is he not affected? Why is he not reacting? And that uncertainty pulls her back in. Women are drawn to men who cannot easily read and remain centered, no matter the circumstance. It is not about playing mind games, but about truly embodying the mindset of someone who does not need external validation to feel whole. Mastering your emotions does not mean suppressing them. It means acknowledging them, understanding them, and refusing to let them dictate your actions. When you control your emotions, you control the narrative. And when you control the narrative, you become the kind of man who does not just attract women. You become the kind of man they never forget. Comment below, I control my emotions. My emotions do not control. Number 4, the mystery effect. Why being unpredictable increases your value. Number 4, the mystery effect. Why being unpredictable increases your value. Predictability is the death of attraction. The moment she thinks she has you figured out, she knows exactly how you will react. Is when she stops feeling intrigued. Women are drawn to mystery, the unknown, and the man they cannot fully grasp. This is why the most unforgettable men are the ones who remain just out of reach, men who reveal enough to be interesting, but never enough to be fully understood. Most men make the mistake of being too transparent. They overshare their emotions, make their intentions obvious, respond immediately to every text, and are always available in doing so. They remove all elements of mystery, and without mystery, there is no tension. Without tension, there is no desire. But when you become unpredictable, break patterns and create uncertainty, she starts to pay attention. She starts wondering why you are not acting the way she expected. She starts questioning whether she still understands you or has control. And that questioning creates intrigue. Think about it. The people we think about the most are often the ones we do not fully understand. They're the ones who left us wondering, the ones who had layers we never got to uncover. That is the power of mystery. It keeps you in her mind long after you are gone. But here is the key. Mystery is not about playing games. It is not about ignoring texts for the sake of appearing disinterested. It is about genuinely living a life so full and dynamic that she cannot keep up. It is about being so focused on your own growth, passions and goals that you naturally become someone she cannot fully predict. She expects you to chase. Do not. She expects you to explain yourself. Stay silent. She expects you to break. Remain composed. Every time you do the opposite of what she anticipates, you create uncertainty, and in uncertainty attraction is born. The strongest men are the ones who do not reveal everything. They hold back. They move with purpose, not desperation. They know that a mysterious man is a man who remains in a woman's mind long after he has walked away. Comment below. I am unpredictable. I am the mystery she cannot. Music. No 5. The power shift, making her regret. Losing you solve. Number 5. The power shift, making her regret losing you. Regret is not born from words. It is born from absence. It is not created by pleading, explaining, or trying to force someone to see your worth. It is created when your presence is no longer guaranteed. Your attention is no longer given freely, and your existence no longer revolves around her. A woman only regrets losing a man when she realizes he was a prize, something valuable, rare, and irreplaceable, and that realization does not come when you are still chasing, still available, or trying to prove your worth. It comes when she looks back and sees that you have elevated, evolved, and become something greater without her. Right now, she expects you to wait. She expects you to linger in the background, hoping for another chance. She expects you to be still thinking about her, watching her, and emotionally invested. That expectation gives her power. But the moment you break that expectation, she realizes you are not waiting, suffering, or even concerned. That power shifts. Think about it. The exes women regret are not the ones who begged. They are not the ones who fell apart. They are the ones who disappeared, became better, and outgrew them. Nothing is more unsettling than realizing that someone you thought needed you is thriving without you. So what is the strategy? Cut the emotional ties, no more hoping, seeking closure, or watching from a distance. The moment you detach, the moment you mentally move on, is when she begins to feel the loss. Elevate yourself, not for her, not for revenge, but because you deserve to be the best version of yourself. Build your body, your mind, your finances, become so great that even if she never regrets losing you, you will never regret losing her. Be the man who got away. Make sure that when she looks back, she does not see the same person she left. Make sure she sees a man who is unreachable, untouchable, completely out of her league. That is how you turn the tables. Regret is not about making her suffer, but about making yourself so valuable that losing you was her mistake, not yours. Comment below. I elevate. I evolve. I am the one who got no 6. The psychological trigger. Why she watches but won't reach out. Away number 6. The psychological trigger. Why she watches but won't reach out. She is still watching you, even if she has not called, even if she has not texted, and even if she acts like she does not care. She is still checking the old messages, the social media updates, the small details that let her know where you are and what you are doing. But if she still cares, why doesn't she reach out? Because reaching out means admitting something she does not want to admit. She no longer has control, that she is the one wondering, now that the power dynamic has shifted and that realization is uncomfortable. A woman will hold on to silence as long as it allows her to feel in control. The moment she breaks that silence, she exposes herself. She reveals that she is still thinking about you, curious and invested. That is why she waits. That is why she watches from a distance, because as long as she is silent, she can convince herself she is in control. But the longer you stay silent, the more uneasy she becomes, the more she starts questioning, the more she starts wondering if she made the wrong choice, because silence, when used correctly, is not emptiness. It is pressure. It forces the mind to fill in the blanks. Think about it. If you saw an ex moving on too quickly, would it make you question things? Would you wonder if they ever cared? That same doubt is now working against her. She assumed you would always be there, that she could come back at any time. But the moment she senses that you are truly gone, she begins to feel what you once felt, the uncertainty, the loss, the regret. But here's the catch: if you are still waiting for her to regret losing you, you have not fully let go. And as long as you have not let go, she still has power over you. That is why the real victory is not in making her miss you. It is reaching a place where you do not care whether she misses you, because that is the moment she feels it the most. She is watching, but it no longer matters. You have moved beyond her reach, and that is the moment she realizes she made a mistake. Comment below. I am untouchable. I am beyond her. The final test. True detachment and ultimate freedom. Reach number 7. The final test. True attachment and ultimate freedom. The real test is not whether she regrets losing you. The real test is whether you have moved beyond the need for her regret. Because as long as you are still checking, still wondering, still hoping for some sign that she feels the loss, you are not truly free. Detachment is not pretending. You do not care. It is not an act, not a strategy, not a manipulation tactic to make her chase. It is a state of being. It is reaching a place where her absence is irrelevant, where her choices do not affect your inner world, where your peace is not tied to whether she stays, leaves regrets, or forgets. True. Detachment is not silence with expectation. It is silence with indifference. If you are still thinking, will she come back? You have not let go. If you are still checking, wondering and reacting, she still holds a part of you. If you are still hoping for her to regret losing you, you are still trapped. Freedom comes when you no longer need closure, validation, or the past to justify itself. It comes when you look at the situation and realize, I gained more than I lost. Because what did you really lose? Someone who walked away. Someone who doubted your value. Someone who had the chance to be part of your journey and chose to leave. And what did you gain? The realization that your happiness was never meant to depend on someone else. The chance to build a fulfilling life, that you would never trade it for the past. The knowledge that you are complete, not because someone validates you, but because you validate yourself. That is the final test. The moment you stop waiting for her regret is the moment you step into true power. And in that moment, whether she regrets losing, you becomes irrelevant because you have already won. Comment below. I have already won. I am free. Music outro. Now you see it, what felt like rejection wasn't about you. It was about her fears, expectations, and need for certainty. And now, instead of waiting, you know how to shift the balance in your favor. Your power was never in her hands. It was in how you carried yourself, in the confidence you built, in the patience you showed. If you're ready to stop second-guessing and start understanding female psychology at a deeper level, like this video, subscribe, and comment below. I own my power. Stay sharp, unshakable, because the right energy always attracts the right outcome.